Y'all, it is a beautiful day. Wind's blowing, feels good out here. So I think it's time to do a garden tour. Y'all, welcome back to my channel. Well, welcome back to Rooted in Nature. In this video, we're doing a garden tour, week 5. There's a lot to be harvested. I probably won't harvest it in this video. I'll harvest it after I get done filming. But there's a lot to harvest and there's a lot I need to show y'all. So let's just hop right into it. So first things first, I want to show y'all my chives, my peppermint. And the reason it's in a container because it is invasive. Look where it laid on the ground. Pull it up. It has the whole root system under there. So we don't put it in the ground. And we're going to hold off on this bed. Now I'll show y'all my containers. We have strawberries. That's the first year strawberries. Mom. That's part of my garden only for the summer. Then we have grapes. They're starting to ripen. Well, actually they're not starting to ripen, but they're formed and bigger than the last garden tour. So I'll link all the garden tours. Actually, yeah, I'll link all the garden tours in the description. But I made a playlist about my garden tours, and there's a couple different playlists. Anyway, we have blueberry plants, 2 more down there. A baby strawberry plant that needs to be watered. But these are extra tomatoes down here that are literally stuck into the ground, that have rooted to the ground. Extra bean plants. Strawberry plants, these white flowers. If y'all see white flower strawberry plants in my garden, that means they've been in my garden for 3 years. The pink flower, I just got sporadic and they only been in here for this year. So we have extra plants right here. I said I was gonna put in my compost. Well, they're going, they ain't made it there yet. We have lemon thyme and we have radish. Boom, we come on this side, we have this right here, which is a lemon tree, a lime tree. Look at that praying mantis. Did y'all see that? I hope y'all saw it. I didn't even notice that was a praying mantis, so I thought I already done touched it. But anyway, we have an acorn tree. Now our Walmart tomato plant has finally gave up. I was waiting for it. And it's not because the soil's dry. I've been watering it and it still ain't did anything. It laid right here still. So we might harvest some of these off of here that's blushing or something. But we have some blueberries we need to be picking. New growth on the blueberry plant starting to happen, even though they are producing fruit. We have the strawberry bag that I just formed this year that has some strawberries starting to turn. Some are ripe in here like that. Not all the way. But the corn bed. The corn bed is doing phenomenal. Look at all that new growth about to pop up out of there. This thing is doing really good. The radish at the bottom are doing great too. Look how big these plants are. They were planted about 2 weeks ago, I think. So we should have radish in about 4 weeks. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, everything needs to be watered. I know y'all don't have to tell me in the comments. I'm gonna water it, but it's too hot to water out here right now. So moving on to this bed, we have onions that I trimmed. I trimmed some and I left some. And we're gonna see which ones do better because you can see online, it says trim some says don't. So I don't know. So I'm testing out for myself and figuring out what works best here. Now, I have a pepper plant right here, a shishito, but I might pull it because I don't know if I posted that video, but peppers are not as important as green beans are to me. So I will pull a pepper plant faster than I pull a green bean plant. Anyway, the reason for that is I store my green beans. I don't store no peppers or preserve no peppers or nothing. So yeah. Anyway, so chamomile needs to be harvested. Basil. Here's some basil. Like I said, chamomile needs to be harvested. Get that in here. That's just seeds. But a lot of beans need to be harvested. Look at this. A lot. Some are bigger than my hand. Some aren't as big. But we just need to get out here and harvest. Where's that one I saw? Oh yeah, right here. Look at this Roma. This is a Roma bush bean, I can tell you. Yep. I was right. Didn't even have to look at the tag because it's a flat bush bean. My only type of bean I grow in my garden is bush beans. But because I like all the harvests at one time, not a staggered harvest. But if you don't want to eat or preserve none, just do what is that? Just do pole beans. Look at these dragon tongue beans. There's radish all under there as well. More dragon tongue beans. Red basil that needs to be harvested. Some harvest off of it. Just like a mixed basil, it needs to be harvested. And that green basil needs to be harvested. That's just a basic green basil. Now this right here is a bell pepper plant. I have 3 in the front. It's like, yeah. Now, that back there, this was all volunteer. I didn't plant none of this here. Now, I will get back to this in a little bit, because I don't need to show y'all that right now. But I will say, I did figure out what is growing here. Anyway, as we move over from that, we have something I said I wasn't going to plant, which was okra. I said I wasn't going to plant okra in my garden this year just because last year I was itching for days because of that. And it had to be picked every day. But eventually, I just stopped picking it. And that variety was heavy hitter. Now, I did always grow Clemson spineless. So go watch that video. It's like a planting out video or something. I'm not really sure. Just go watch. Go find the video, okay? But yeah, I explained it fully. So yeah, I have some beans interplanted, and I have corn right here. This corn probably ain't gonna do good. This one I ripped out the soil because it was 2 plants in one. Like, some of them were. I know some of them had 2 plants in them. Oh, I already ripped them or cut them, but I ripped this one out, and it's corn don't like its roots bothered, so I expected that. Anyway. Some of these beans look bad. They were already looking bad when I transplanted them. But we have green beans interplanted right here. Like I said, y'all see green beans everywhere in my garden. And here's a purple bush bean coming up. I don't know. It's whatever. I said I wasn't going to plant nothing in this section, but I ended up doing it because, well, it's drying out and whatever. Anyway, so this whole bed is basically bush beans except for basically green beans except for those plants right there, which are broccoli plants. I'll give y'all an update on those in a second. But the green beans are looking good. So these right here, look at that. I think that's a pest, but anyway. So these beans that are beside here are like 2 weeks ahead of these, but it's all right. So we got these, and then we have these, which is kind of like a succession. So I didn't even mean to do that. It just kind of happened. So, because I had onions here, and I took them out and didn't know what to plant, so I just planted beans. Then more beans right here. Got my rosemary. I made a short about this. It's like, no, I made a video about this. It's growing rosemary made easy or something like that. You'll see that. You'll tell by thumbnail. But anyway, we have celery here, cucumber plant, I might pull, don't know yet. Bean plant, more bean plants. This right here, this plant has been stunted like plenty of times because of the wind and stuff. Has literally made it leaned over this way, then it leaned over that way, then it leaned over that way. So it has done a full crazy move, but now it's starting to do fine. Anyway, we look at these broccolis, they're forming heads. Now, mind y'all, this is my first time growing broccoli here in the summer. You cannot grow broccoli here in the summer in South Carolina. But I am because, as you can see, it's shaded. But as soon as they start to open up like they're going to bolt, I'm going to cut them off of there, harvest them. Anyway, time for the in-ground garden. Actually, no, should it be time? No, we're going to do this right now. So basically, I don't know if you can see anything from here. But, like I said, some of these had to be planted by pumpkins, and they were. Here are some pumpkins growing right here. Not only pumpkins growing in here, that's not all. They all look the same, but they're not the same. My dog's over there playing. Not only do we have pumpkins growing here, but somewhere, I don't know now. I have this crookneck squash in here. Cucumbers. Look at those. Look at those pests right there. Pesky little things. But I have this in here. I took this one off the shelf. Somebody that came to look in my garden. Anyway, I have that. I have, look, there's a crookneck down there, I think. Or a gourd or something. It's something. But yeah, I have those. Then I have this right here. And I have cucumbers just growing. So everything's growing back here. I'll throw that cucumber plant back in there and I'll pick them off sometime. But anyway, that's what's growing here. We finally figured it out. Moving on to the in-ground garden, y'all. Now we have a lot of harvesting to do out here. I can see just overnight stuff has got 10 times bigger, the fruit. And so I need to harvest some things out here. But anyway, we're going to go down the rows and I'll just show y'all. So we're going to go down the tomato rows first. So we have lots of tomatoes on, as y'all can see. Now these are early girls. I don't know if they're slicers or not. They should be. That's what the packet said, I think. But then we have Juliet's over here. We have bigger sandwich tomatoes over here. Now some of these are already getting diseased, but that's all right. The tomato ain't gonna survive forever here in South Carolina. Anyway, we have bush beans planted where the rodent pulled some when I first planted these out. Look at them. It looks so good. Can't wait till they turn red. Anyway, look at there. We have a red one right here. Now this ain't Juliet, but this is a super sweet 100. I'll harvest that later. I just want to show y'all this right now. And these things are coming out here. And this is what I do when they come out here. Take it over along here and just kind of twist it like this. And then it stays on there. And that's what I do with that. So we have some red ones, some blushing. Sandwich tomatoes starting. Now down here, these are Cherokee purple. They're definitely nowhere near ready because Cherokee purple turn red and like a smoky color and taste. Anyway, here's German Johnson, which should be getting huge. This has a little cut in it, so we're just gonna go ahead and pull that one off. But this plant feels like it's like wet. I don't know. Anyway, so this one needs to be over here. Anyway, that's a little weird. This one's acting weird, but it's fine. We have lots of more. So anyway, look at these. They're gonna be so big. Anyway, we're done here with tomatoes. I'm gonna go up here because I can't get across the trail without jumping out, but like jumping. Anyway, we have beans planted there. Here's my sister's tomatoes. She's actually keeping up with them pretty good. These are patio varieties, by the way. Anyway, so these are Armenian long cucumbers. So they're nowhere near ready. They'll get about 4 foot. Well, they'll get a yard long. When I grew about in 2020, 2022, 2023, somewhere around there. When I grew was 4 foot, and it was not bitter. It tasted just like a cucumber. I think this is actually gourd though, but look at this bee. Pollinating. Oh, I was showing y'all leaf the whole time. Anyway, he's pollinating, or she, whatever. Anyway, we have cucumbers in here. They're starting out, and they will get huge, and y'all see along the way. But I don't want them climbing up that trellis, and I don't know why there's ants on here. Where are these ants coming from? They're probably in my shoes then. But it'll be fine. We'll just watch out. Anyway, so we have a flower there for pollinators. We have these are not Armenian long. I couldn't say what kind these were, but it's fine. Right here we got Katrina cucumbers, which don't need any pollination. They self-pollinate, as you can tell. Now that one looks weird, but they self-pollinate. They only make female flowers. So every flower they make will be a cucumber. We have eggplants here. They don't look the best. They were stunted when I put them in, and they're still stunted now. But, oh well. I think they have some pests on them. Or that might have been from the tray. I'm not sure. They're not old enough to be putting out flowers yet, so I need to take off these things. And be careful when you're touching the flowers. They do have spikes on them. Let me see if I can see. They're mini right now, but as... Now, let me see. Yep, there you go. Now, as the fruit gets bigger, they get bigger. But I cannot believe these cucumbers. I saw them, and they were like $25 for the seeds, for a regular pack of seeds. And I was like, I don't know if I'll pay that much, but I'm glad I did. So we're moving on from the peppers. So we're going to go up this row. Anyway, I know this ain't a weed video, but a weed pulling video, but I just can't stand to see these weeds taking over these holes. And it's really fast and easy to pull up. So anyway, I might pull this plastic up, but I really love it. But that's for another video. So we have some pepper plants down here I just planted recently. Now, they're looking bad. I don't know, but look at what we have here. Well, there's a spider, but we have a pepper. Oh, he's on the bottom now. Look. So anyway, we have peppers forming on these. I think they're bell. Let's see if I can find the tag. Where? Oh yeah, they're California Wonder. But these are basically, look, they're getting bigger and bigger every week. But they kind of look the same because they're not producing fruit. Which some of them are, some aren't. I forgot to show y'all these about tomatoes. These fruit are getting big, huge. But look, we still have them pests on them. I have not done nothing for them. I really hadn't, being honest. But it's alright, hopefully. Anyway, so that's it for this row. Now we have zucchinis. And this is just a random row, okay? So the first things first, this needs to be harvested today. Another thing needs to be harvested today is this one right here. This one didn't get pollinated. This is a perfect example. This is what it looks like when they didn't get pollinated. So, anyway, that one's gonna be harvested today. We have some flowers. We have zinnia that's about to open. That's just a water irrigation thing. We have a bush bean right there. And this right here is gherkin cucumber. It gets about this big, so this one will be picked. This one will be getting picked soon. Probably next week, or probably not even next week. Probably in between the garden tours. But anyway, we have a flower here. We have 4 cucumber plants. This one's not doing as good as these 3 right here, but these all need pollinating. These are actually straight 8. So that's the only thing I don't like about them is they need to be pollinated, because I don't have a lot of bees out here. And not that bees are the only pollinators, but bees are one of the best pollinators. So we have some pepper plants in between. These are Tormin. Then we have some Athena cantaloupe. Haven't seen none on there. Oh my gosh, I forgot to show y'all. I have the Katrina seeds, the one that don't need to be pollinated, $25 seeds. I direct sown some, and they're starting to come up. Well, not all of them, but it's all right. Hopefully this one will start to come up, but yes, we have some coming up. Anyway, so it's kind of like a succession, so too. All right, moving on from that row, we have pickles, or not pickles. We have Burpos cucumber right here. I'm not gonna pick this. Yeah, well, I'll probably pick that one. But they usually get bigger, but it is the first one, and I want to pick it kind of small so the plant will keep producing. Anyway, we have 2 more Burpos cucumbers. Then we have that right there. That bee is a hard-working bee. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, again, just pollinating it all. Anyway, this right here is a giant marconi. It has some peppers, baby peppers on it. Then that is it for that row. Now, over here, this is an experiment. Sorry for the weeds. I mean, sorry for me pulling weeds. I just can't stand to see these weeds when it's super easy to pull. Anyway, so we have about, I think these are pepperos, kind of. I just did these over here just for an experiment to see if they do better in the shade or not. And so far, they're not as, like the stalk ain't as thick, but they are putting on a good amount of flowers and stuff. It actually has a fruit. And these are actually all over here. This is how I'm gonna keep up with it. All these over here are sown straight by me. Not direct sown, but I started these inside in February, I think. Anyway, we have a habanada. I don't have any hot peppers in my garden except for the shishito, which 1 in 10 or something like that. it's spicy. So anyway, yep, yeah. So we got those. We got Napina. We got, what is this one? Yellow Monster. Anyway, so as you move down from there, we have a volunteer cold crop, which it looks like it's burning up, but I mean, it's meant to grow in the fall and in cooler seasons. Anyway, we have a watermelon, which I didn't think I was gonna plant, but we did it. So anyway, y'all, this is, my garden's getting way, actually doing way better than I expected, and way bigger than I expected everything to get in here. So anyway, I think this is where I'm gonna end the video, but before I end the video, I wanna show y'all how big these tomatoes are right here. Just look at them. Anyway, so now I think it's time to end the video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share if you already haven't. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.